If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? You'll fade the words I will choke.
Happy Thursday to everyone in the sports universe. It is November the 10th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook pages. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvello saying, what's going on, Aaron?
Good morning to you, Mike, and good morning to everybody out there listening, watching, supporting. We appreciate you guys as always.
Amen.
And it's Thursday. It's college football. We've got an NFL game tonight as well. We've got a couple of college football matchups as well, and especially a game I'll be paying attention to that I already have a bet in on, but did not put it in my AM Drive 5.
Boo.
Maybe I should. I don't know. I do have
Your 2-3 has been legitimately consistent.
I have been 2-3. Let me check the notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. For 4 straight weeks, I have been 2-3.
It's been a month. That's crazy.
It's time to get off the schneid. We've got 2 AM Drive picks tonight from your boy here. So I'm ready to get into at least the 3-2 land, maybe even the 4-1 land. So it starts tonight.
It does, and I love the confidence. You're prepared. I love it.
Yeah, I just, the funny thing is with the AM Drive 5, it hasn't gone so great, but I'm actually treading water in real life.
You're doing good.
I bet, some of this stuff as far as my AM Drive 5 goes, some of them it's hard to find 5 picks. And in the beginning of the year, I was telling you that, I may only bet 1 or 2, maybe 3 games combined in college and NFL football. I've been trying to focus down on larger wagers, but more detailed analysis on a smaller amount of games. So sometimes it's hard to find 5 games for me, but I've got action on the NFL game tonight. So LFG, let's go.
I have a question for you before we go.
Okay.
Do you believe, because I've always wondered about this, how bettors feel. I feel like the more I look at stats, the less successful I am doing. I feel like, stats can help you, but I feel like the gut feeling always, 7 times out of 10 helps me more so than this team does this and this and this.
So what I try to do, which is so hard, it's so much harder nowadays than it used to be. What I try to do is immediately look at a game, and in my mind, I start thinking, okay, without injuries, without weather factors, just what I know of these two teams, I try to formulate a line. When I look at the line, I say, okay, it's about what I thought it was, or it's way off. Why is it way off? And then I start looking at different aspects of it, like injuries and what the weather is going to be like, and things like, okay, this team's coming off a bye, but ultimately the stats and things, they don't tell a story because teams game plan for other teams based on their strengths and their weaknesses. You try to more so bet why the line is the way it is and look at line movement in the market, in the sports betting market. A great prognosticator that I listen to will tell you, I bet numbers, I don't bet teams. So that's something to think about when you're really looking at a lot of that stuff. So yeah, all these, XYZ is 4th in the country and ABC is 9th in the country. I mean, those things do matter, and they'll contribute to your factor, but you really have to look at so many different things. That's why when people are throwing out 7, 8, 9, 10 plays, it's like are you doing enough actual research and looking at these games? That's just too many plays for me, and that's what I was doing when I was betting 5, 6, 7, 8 games a week. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm going 4-4. I'm paying the juice. This isn't very good. If I can hone in, and I usually am 3 to 5 games a week, usually 3. Try to go 2-1 every week. You win a little bit of money. It's not about hitting these magical parlays that you see DraftKings posting on. Oh, turns $1 into $10,000.
That's such a scam, dude. And they know it's a scam.
They do, but they can get away with it because that's just the way it is. I mean, it's
Love it.
advertising at its finest, and they get you to the amount of people that bet those little $1 parlays outweigh the one guy who hit it 100-1.
You're right. You're right about that. Even the guy who paid, what is it, $1 billion to whatever he did it with on the Astros.
Well, Mattress Mac always bets the Astros. It's not like he just pulled
That was funny though.
this glorious bet out of his butt, but
But
he
now
did
it's
put a lot.
legal. People like, oh, he's doing this. Like, duh.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always been legal. It's just he's
Not in
got bets.
California.
It still won't be legal in California, but it's always been legal, at least in Las Vegas.
Isn't that crazy? You're watching the Lakers and UCSC, you can't even. That's just insane to me. It blows my mind over there that they don't have that.
I am a little shocked at how liberal the state is that did not pass.
Fair enough.
Because it seems like the more conservative states are the ones not passing gambling, like the Bible
That's
Belt
Georgia.
area. Yeah, your Bible Belt area.
Yep, good old days, good old. But it tells you no gambling. Yeah, but you guys, anyways, hypocrisy. MikeandAaronDrive.com for our shop, sponsors, socials, and YouTube, all in one place. If you want to know, yes, like mugs. If you want to know what's going on with us, if you want to see how to follow us, how to check us out, how to sponsor us, how to support us, and there have been a few that have reached out to me that have. I love it, like just randoms on the internet. And I love you guys for that because we're part of the AM Drive family.
They're not randoms; they're fans.
Well, they're friends. I like to view them as friends, not fans.
Fans, friends. Randoms is not a thing.
That's right. Free shipping on Code Mahomes expires this Sunday, November the 13th. College football, week 11. It's whenever I say I'm past week 10, I feel like I'm getting old. So every year it's just it comes so fast. Ooh, wow. Let me not say that again. Friday at 9:30, that's tomorrow night, Colorado visits number 8 USC. Now, the reason I put this game up is because USC still has some playoff implications if things do swing in certain ways. Because I think they lost, what was it, to UCLA or Utah? It was Utah, right?
They lost to Utah, yes, correct.
And Utah, unfortunately, has not been the overachiever this year that everyone wishes they were. But I do feel like covering 34, yeah, I would say that in the totals of 66. I would like to go USC minus 34. I also like the under 66 because I feel like USC's defense is underrated. And Colorado just got shut down by Oregon, who, to be fair, I know they have a defensive-minded coach now from Georgia, but they are not really a defensive team. And so seeing Colorado Billy put up anything against them was interesting. So I go under, but in the spread, I lean towards USC 34.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of look at it this way. Colorado is averaging 15.6 points a game, which is good enough for 129th in FBS scoring behind Massachusetts and Colorado State. Their offensive yards per game is worst among Power 5 teams. In FBS, they are 1-8 on the season. I'm not even sure how they got the 1. I think they beat Colorado State actually at the beginning of the year. But you're right. I mean, 66 is a big number. I disagree with you in terms of USC's defense being overrated or underrated or whatever. Underrated. I don't agree with that. They give up points in bunches. But you're right. They're going up against a team that is going to excel in avoiding the end zone, I think. Tonight or tomorrow night, I guess it's Friday. I mean, you would lean on an under, especially in a primetime game. 66. I don't know if Colorado can get points, but I don't really like anything about either side of this coin. I mean, USC winning by 5 touchdowns does make the most sense, and it would be the play you would probably want to do if you wanted to bet this game. I'm just not a big fan of laying a big number in a game where you're right. They could win this game by 30. Still feel good about their spot because in the situation of as far as the college football playoff, they're still going to have a game against Oregon, a.k.a. the Pac-12 title game. So what we're looking at here is, does a sexy win matter against Colorado? Because everyone knows Colorado is hot garbage.
That's what I'm saying. If you only can win by 28, I'm pretty sure College Football Playoff Committee is aware of spreads and stuff. And I like to think that even though they are all probably old-fashioned and don't really care. I'd like to think it plays a little part. And so I think winning by 35 with a late touchdown just to punch him in the mouth would be a nice little, hey, we're still USC. We have Lincoln Riley. We have Caleb Williams, who I still believe only has one interception. So it's like 25 touchdowns, like one pick. It's insane.
I mean, those are great numbers, and we kind of expected that to be.
Not off the bat to
You
me.
know-
I did not know they were
Well,
going
I mean,
plug and play.
I was thinking about their under-win total as well. I didn't know they would be this, good. But like you said, this defense at some point is going to hinder them. It's not going to come against Colorado.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's go ahead and lay the 34 here. How are you feeling about that?
That's fine. I initially wrote down under, but the more we talked, I kind of like the covering more. So you're right about that.
Let's call it 51-10.
That's fair. That makes
All right,
sense. Like I think it's even like 44-10. They score a touchdown and say, "Hey, we covered."
No, I'll call it 51-10. We'll go USC with the cover. I lean toward the under in that spot, but I mean, don't forget USC has put up 66 points by themselves this year at one point. So
That's what I was thinking too. Was like that's why the under wasn't that cute after I thought about it.
the question really is just we know USC should get theirs. Colorado is historically bad in all aspects of their game. So if you're looking at the over, is how much can Colorado get? Can Colorado get 17 points? I don't know. I mean, they're talking about.
Well, you got to think the field goal would be. I don't even know if they have a good kicker. So it's like they might just be going for it all the time. I probably should have checked that. But
I mean, they're definitely
field goal will
turnover
help.
prone. So
No, that's not good. That's enough of that game. That's enough of that.
Yeah, this is probably too much.
Noon Eastern on Saturday, Indiana and Ohio State, the Ohio State University. Ohio State's by 40 here, and the total's at 58. For me, I don't care. This is my no play kind of thing. If I had to choose, I might say Indiana plus 40, like they lose by like 38. Because let's be real, if Ohio State takes care of Michigan, it does not matter what they do in this game. Like they could win, they could have another 21-7, and as long as they beat Michigan, they are fine. But then again, at home, it feels a bit better. But again, I don't think there's no way they're covering 40. I don't see that happening. I don't know about you.
It's just a question, really, of if Indiana can score. I mean, do you remember back in the day when Indiana was 3-0 to start the season? Of course you don't. Because, they were 3-0 to start the season. They've lost 6 in a row. They're now 3-6 at this point. I think a lot of people are going to be down on Ohio State because of just looking at the score against Northwestern. It was 21-7, but it was wind and rain and wind and rain and then some more wind and rain.
You think it could be like 49 in the spot? Okay.
I kind of like the over 58 here.
Okay.
But I need Indiana to get like 14 points just to feel comfortable with that. I think they can do something along those lines. I mean, their defense is awful. They're giving up 33.2 points a game, which is 114th in the nation. They're 104th in total defense. They're giving up almost 450 yards a game. So for me, it just relies on if Indiana can get me 14 points, I like the over in this game.
I like that too. Noon Eastern as well. LSU number 7 in the nation with 2 losses against Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, good wins.
Yeah. LSU is favored by 3. The total's at 62. You know what? I like LSU minus 3. I gain a lot of respect for Brian Kelly. I know this was on the road. I kind of like the under as well because LSU's defense, I guess, played pretty good against Bryce Young, would you say?
Overall, I'd
on
say
the
they played
road
pretty
against
well.
KJ, I'm not sure, but even KJ, Arkansas started to disappoint me. I thought they would be better, and they have not been. So I'm going to go with LSU covering the 3. I think they win by 7 points here.
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, Arkansas started out so red hot. You really thought they'd be a force in the SEC, and especially the SEC West this year.
At least make a couple of upsets.
Yeah, this one feels like, last week, I think they lost to Liberty. Yeah, they lost to Liberty 21-19, which doesn't bode well for that. But they've got some big wins this year. I mean, they beat Cincinnati earlier in the year, and they've beat Auburn, of course. But I don't know. This is a personal thing. I respect the hell out of what Brian Kelly has done this year, but you're right. You said it. The 2-loss number 7 LSU team. Like, I don't want this team anywhere around the top 4 rankings with 2 losses right now when there's so many undefeated teams and 1-loss teams that are, I guess you could say, more deserving. I mean, LSU has big wins. I mean, they have a big win against Alabama.
That's
but
the
they
thing.
also,
It's why Tennessee was number 1.
right, but then you look at, against Tennessee, they lost by 27 points. So it's like,
Ooh.
like LSU, does LSU really belong there with 2 losses just because they beat Alabama and Ole Miss in back-to-back weeks? I don't know if I get that. I mean,
Arkansas money line might be easier then. Now that I think about it.
I kind of personally want to see an Arkansas upset here. So I'll roll with the +3. It's 3.5 in some spots as well. So
Let's sprinkle a little bit on there.
yeah, I mean, let's hope KJ can come up with a big win and bring Brian Kelly and his team back to earth a little bit. Remind them that they're a 2 to 3 loss team at this point.
Before we move on, let me get a little 2-gamer from you here. But let's say by 3 o'clock on Saturday Eastern time, we've got a 2-game parlay that hits. Is it Arkansas money line and the USC to cover 34, or is it Arkansas money line and Ohio State Indiana to go over 58? I like the Arkansas money line in that.
All right, well, we could go Arkansas money line, and I know you like you like USC, so I just don't know if I want to lay a big spread. I'd take the over in the Ohio State game. That would be me.
Okay, let's do it. It's a little 2-gamer for the AM Drive friends.
There you go.
When we come back, we're going to talk the rest of the college football. And don't forget, Thursday Night Football's coming up as well, and Aaron's got 2 bets on that. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise. For $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back to the Thursday edition of the AM Drive. We are presented by Fanatics. It's right there. You see it. But you don't just go straight to Fanatics if you want to support the AM Drive. You go to mikeandaarondrive.com, which is right there. You see it, mikeandaarondrive.com. And when you get to that awesome website, what do you do, Mike?
Click it. Oh, good Lord.
Close enough. You click the F. It's right there, right in the middle of the page. We even tell you and point it out to you, click the F. And when you click that F, it takes you into the Fanatics website where everything is at your fingertips. You can get these awesome Miami Heat hats that Mike has right there on his head. You can get awesome anything you can think of in any sport, any team, any league, any player. They have got you covered. It's getting cold out there. Time to get your gear for the winter season. Hoodies, jackets, fleeces, beanies, etc.
Sweatpants.
All of that. Sweatpants. It's sweatpants season, ladies. You know what that means.
Woo!
All of that can be found at Fanatics. But first, go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click the F because it helps out the AM Drive tremendously. And for that, we thank you.
Hey, man. Remember we used to do the fist bump? That was horrible.
I gave up on it.
3:30, number 9, Alabama. Number 11, Ole Miss. We're coming at you fist first in this one. Alabama's favored by 12 on the road. And Ole Miss, good Lord, and the total is at 64.5. I have seen quite a few people say, well, Ole Miss is going to get them. And they realize both these teams play no defense. And they realize that Jackson Dart is the quarterback. No. Heck no. I believe actually Alabama covers the 12 in this one. If you want to feel safe, go over 64.5. But I really believe Bryce Young, he was horrible against LSU. That was not a good performance. He was like under 50%. That was ugly. But I like to think Alabama gets back on it and they win by 14 because I think both teams can score at will. But I think Alabama's defense can make one more stop to make this thing cover.
Yeah, I tend to lean towards an Alabama cover as well. I'll give you a little fun fact here. Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Since 2013, so we're talking about almost 10 years ago, Alabama has not lost back-to-back games. 2013. That's insane to think of. And that includes
Kind of gets your mind, don't it?
SEC title games. That includes, CFB playoffs, whatever. So, I look at this as well, and Saban versus old coaches. We know we have that trend as well. I tend to lean towards Bama covering 12. It's 11.5 here in Vegas, which I obviously love better than 12. Right. I don't know how I feel about the over because you're talking about how both teams' defenses are miserable. Yes and no, but you add the fact that Alabama's defense does have a little bit of a pulse on top of you already feel down on Jackson Dart. I don't know if both teams can get this thing to 64. I mean, we had such a barn burner and an exciting game against LSU in Alabama, and we didn't get to 64 in that spot. Can we get there with these two teams? I don't know. This feels almost. I know Sammy Action will crucify me. He's not a big fan of teasing college football games, but this feels like a spot where if you feel like Alabama can win by like 7 to 10 points, I take Bama. I tease them to like 5, and I tease this up to 71.5 and take the under.
This one, now you are good at college football, so I know it doesn't work for your NFL teasers, at least on the show. But
they always get killed in the last couple plays.
Yeah, or like conspiracy, even where FanDuel will give the money back, which is stupid, but you get it. Gave the money back.
As much as I get bad beated, I don't agree with giving them money. I mean, that's just the thing. Things happen,
it's called gambling for a reason. And these people are like, well, why don't they give us their money back? Because you're an idiot. That's why.
I'm okay. I think I said this. I'm okay if the company, there's a mega bad beat, something crazy like that lateral thing that happened with Pittsburgh and Cleveland when, I turned the game off already. If there's a mega bad beat and the company wants to come out and say, hey, that one really sucks, all you Pittsburgh backers or all you, one side of the coin, hey, all you guys want to, we're going to give you guys your money back up to $25. We're going to give you a $25 free bet or a $10 free bet or whatever. But now that it's just like expected, I don't like that.
Agreed.
If someone wants to come out and do it, like when John Rahm withdrew from or had to withdraw when he was up by 6 strokes at the Memorial because of COVID, you want to give them their, a $10 free play, fine. Those are crazy bad beats.
Right.
But like when things just happen week to week and they're just and people are on Twitter like, yeah, you need to refund these bets. That's ridiculous. How could that happen? No. You don't get to dictate the market.
Well, if they miss it by half a point and get pissed off, okay, well, you should have gone under, pal.
Yeah, that's not the way gambling works where you get a little safety net because they did it one time. I don't like that. And again, that's me being on the side of the book.
That's FanDuel's fault.
Yeah, no, I mean, they opened, I think I said that, like they opened up a Pandora's box there.
3:30 as well, Louisville and number 10, Clemson. Was that the best one yet? Oh, good.
That's your best one yet, Louisville.
Clemson is -7. The total's at 52. Okay. You spoke to me in prophetic terms when you said Notre Dame would win, and they handled them pretty well against Clemson. You spoke in prophetic terms as well yesterday when you said, yeah, Clemson felt like they were due for that kind of game. Well, this time they're going back home, and I think I like to see 6.5, like even if I have to buy half a point. But I'm just saying, because look, oh, come on now. You have to admit 7 is a pretty. What if they win by 7? You're screwed. Come on now.
No, you push. I would take a push rather than buying a half a point. Paying 10 cents in the long run to buy half a point. It's not. You're better off finding a teasing option to take them. You're better off finding a teasing option with them than paying 20 cents. If you take a 2-team 6-point teaser, I think you're paying $1. I think you're paying $1.20.
I don't want 2-team. I want one thing.
Yeah, but what if they win by 5? Then you just paid an extra 10 cents to lose. Either way.
What if they win by 7, though, and I'm screwed either way?
You're not screwed. You just push.
Pushing is lame. It's like tying. That's dumb.
Pushing sometimes feels okay. But I understand your thought process because I was the same way, too. I bought a lot of points early in my betting career. And you know what? I'd buy down to 6.5. They'd win by 4. And now I just lost an extra 10 cents of betting, which if you're betting bigger, 10 cents doesn't sound like a lot small, like when you're betting, $5-10 a game. But when you're betting,
whoa, what is that? Whoa.
What betting unit do you use? $5-10 a game?
If
you're betting, look, I'm in your corner here. If you're betting $5-10 a game, paying an extra 10 cents matters not. But when you're betting
$10, okay, I get.
Yeah, you're paying an extra $10 when you're betting 100 a game matters.
We are not worthy.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I understand what you're saying. When it's 10 cents, literally 10 cents, buy the half a point. You're 100% correct. What
is your thoughts on this game? Did you like the 7 or how do you feel?
I like Clemson in this game. Get back. They've got an outside shot. Now they may be fooling themselves here. They got an outside shot at still getting back into this college football playoff if chaos ensues. And they need the sexy wins. They have nothing left on their schedule as far as top 25s. I don't even think anybody they play in the ACC championship will be in the top 25. I have to look at the Western, the Coastal Division of what we got there. But yeah, it's a bleak shot for them. Let's see they could play North Carolina, who's 15. I mean, they are currently leading. They should be in the Coastal.
I mean, they like I said, they ran through the brunt of their schedule. I know that 3 loss teams don't count unless it's Alabama opponents. But I kind of like. I feel like this. Coming up, we're going to talk about a game that I think contributes to Clemson. It's the Texas TCU game because I think
that helps.
Yeah, USC would get in above Clemson. But it's also possible if the chaos does ensue, that's a big if, that Clemson could get in by just winning out.
Now, I think as it stands now, if everything runs smooth, and I don't want to get too far down this hole, but if this all runs smooth and TCU loses, the Pac-12 champion would get in. Now, if USC loses and then in the Pac-12 championship beats Oregon or vice versa, then I think the Pac-12 just swallowed itself whole. And then if TCU loses, Clemson has an outside shot. I think they'd throw another SEC team in there, unfortunately. But
you're right. We need 12. I'll say it again. They need to just expand it to 12 by way of good faith.
And that's the thing. Like I said, do I think 12 teams can legitimately win a national title? No. But I think 6 or 7 can, and that's why the expansion needs to happen. Now, back to Louisville, Clemson. I think Clemson gets a sturdy 17-point victory here.
I love it. No need to buy 10 cents. I love it. Thank you. 3:30, the Terps. Girls like turtles. I'm just saying. Number 14, number 14, Penn State. The Nittany, which I hate. Lions. I know it's not like knit, but it still sounds the same. Nittany Lions favored by 10. The total's at 59. I'm just going to go Maryland plus 10 because I don't know much about. I'm just going to go with Tua's brother here. That's all I'm doing. I know it's at Penn State. I don't know what they're going to play for. I put this in there because it's a bowl game implication.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw this game in our slate here.
6-3 and 7-2. That's a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad matchup. I'm just saying, like, I really don't have an official opinion on this one. Penn State's always been a really hard team to handicap, so to speak, for me. I mean, what
Yep.
kind of team comes out? A team that wants to hold the football and play good defense. Well, then you're gonna be hard pressed to cover 10.5 point spreads or 10 point spreads. I'd lean the under in this one. I really
Oh.
would.
No love for Tua's brother, huh?
Taula.
Talia, yeah.
Tungavaleo. I remember when it took. I still can't say his name. Tungavaleo.
Yasan Nakumbo.
Yeah, all those guys. Have
you seen the TikTok video I made? Where I say Yasan Bam, no, that's not it.
TJ Hujman. It's just so many of them.
Classic TJ. That was a good one.
Yeah, TJH. There's okay. Maryland can cover this one. I'll say Penn State plays a close one at home here, and Maryland gives them a little test. Penn State by 4.
I dig it. Thank you, sir. Good for you. This one was for you, and because Tulane,
well, it's also a top 25 matchup.
Yeah, but Tulane also is like 8-1, like 5-0 in their BS conference, which is cool.
Their BS conference.
I'm sorry, like you can give me like some other conferences, but this one is like, where are they at? Like the MAC or?
No, they're the American, just like UCF.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was mean. I didn't realize they were in the same conference. What is the history of these two teams? So I want to leave it to you, but I have a lean, but I just want to know what the history. How does this game usually go?
So this is a weird game. This game actually kind of flips back and forth in terms of the history. Tulane gets some weird upsets against UCF. Traditionally, UCF has controlled the series, but in certain spots when UCF has to go to New Orleans, they get beat. They get beat. It's same with Tulsa. For whatever reason, Tulsa can be a bad team in the American, and they'll walk into Orlando or at home and beat UCF. It's the weirdest thing. Now that Tulane is good, it adds a great element. This is the battle for the New Year's Six Bowl in terms of mid-majors.
Wow.
The team that wins this one really pretty much has the inside track to the
New Year's Day on national television.
Exactly. And if they come out to the Fiesta Bowl out here in Phoenix, I might have to make a road trip here.
Please do.
Well, we'll see. I'll have a newborn, so it might be a little tough. This game is in my AM Drive 5, so I will reserve. Yes, I will reserve this, but let's just say I think it's going to be a barn burner. It'll come down to the final possession, and somebody's going to cover, and it's going to be a big win for whichever program.
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to go with UCF. But
I like your thinking.
The reason I know you do. I know it sounds like the over, but I will say, I don't know if Tulane. I know you said like UCF can lose to them in Tulane or wherever they play, or Louisiana. I still feel like Tulane's not like the wow. We're so intimidated by this green wave. No one cares.
100%. I definitely agree with that. I mean, their one loss this season is ugly. They lost to Southern Miss. That's an ugly loss. Now, UCF has some ugly losses on their schedule as well. I'm not touting them here. They've got a couple of ugly losses as well. So like I said, they can walk in there and get beat if their head's not squared up on their shoulders right. I mean, East Carolina, a team that I think UCF should have taken care of handily, actually beat the brakes off of them. So this is a very Jekyll and Hyde UCF team, and you'll have to wait to the AM Drive 5 tomorrow for my pick.
One thing I like about this, and the last thing I'll say about it, is UCF. I do like that the playoff committee, just AP and everybody, they seem like they respect UCF. Like they're always in the top 25 now. Remember, like there was a chance where they were like 9 or 10-0, and they still couldn't even get into the top 25. That was dumb.
But it's funny you mentioned that. In 2017, when they went undefeated, they were actually ranked higher than this 2-loss team is ranked right now.
How much?
Stew on that for a second. UCF, when they were undefeated, they were like 9-0 at this spot. They were actually ranked 23rd in the college football playoff ranking.
You see what I'm saying?
Now they're a 2-loss team, and they're ranked 22nd. So you're right. agree with you that there has been a respect factor, or college football as a whole might just be down a little bit. There's a 3-loss team at like number 18 right now.
Yeah, we know. All right, number 1, Georgia travels to play Will Rogers, one of the most whitest names ever. I'm kidding. He's good. Mississippi State. 7 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday nights. Georgia's favored by 16. Totals at 53.5. I'm going to tell you what, Aaron. I'm scared of the total because I feel like Will Rogers and Stetson Bennett are good. But I also like Georgia to just cover 17. I don't really want a part of this game, but my lean is Georgia covering because I do think their defense. I mean, Will Rogers has had like a couple of duds this year. And I feel like Georgia their defense is pretty staying good. But they're off an emotional high, though, too. I don't know how much Tennessee game mattered to them. I mean, it looks like it really didn't when you look at how the game went. But going back to Mississippi State, sure you cover, but I wouldn't say it's by much.
Yeah, it's funny because now that they've won a national title in Georgia, you're right. Beating the number 1 team in the nation, is that a high for them? I mean, it feels good. Don't get me wrong, but like, is that like they know what it takes to get to the end of the rainbow and win a national title? Like Tennessee, when Tennessee beat number 1 Alabama,
that was huge for them.
Yeah, that was huge for them. Or if Tennessee would have beaten Georgia, that'd have been huge for them because it's uncharted territory for the last 18 years, 20 years. I don't feel the same way with Georgia here, but you're right. That's a big number to cover on the road
against a capable quarterback.
Yeah, after a game that you just had to kind of dig deep, and although you did cover, it was not your finest offensive performance. It was a good defensive performance. I'd lean. If this game's going to stay close, I would lean it to be in the over ranks of 53.5.
Okay, cool. I dig it. I thought there's not much to talk about. I just want to throw that in there.
I don't have a lot. Georgia's a very boring number 1 team. I mean, and they like it that way, I think.
Oh yeah, Kirby's been a grand slam hire ×2.
Well, you have to say that. I mean, they haven't. As successful as Mark Richt was, he could never do what Kirby Smart did last year.
Kirby Smith. Woo-hoo!
I don't know where Smith
Watch
came
your
out.
mouth. But... All right, number 7. I'm tired. 7 o'clock. Number 25, Washington Huskies. Remember last year, like Washington sucked? Like they were supposed to be really good. Well, this year, they're actually not bad. Number 6, Oregon, who again, only loss was to Georgia in week 1, which still blows my mind. Oregon's favored by 13.5. The total is 72.5. And despite me saying that, I'm just going to go under here. I like Oregon. I'm coming off a game where they played pretty good against Colorado for what that's worth. I like them at home with a defensive-minded coach trying to turn the tide here. They need a big win. If you cover, cute, that's cool and all. It doesn't matter for me. What matters is clamping down, keeping this under. I might go on my AM Drive 5. I don't know.
Yeah, the Oregon offense has scored 40 plus every game but the first game against Georgia.
When they scored 3 more than you.
When they scored 3 points. Yeah, they have literally scored their lowest output of the season since that game has been 41 points.
That's insane.
So, you look at the other side, Washington lately has put up around 30 to 35 points. Now, they've been playing teams like Arizona, California, Oregon State.
That was bad.
So, are they ripe against a Oregon team who has halfway decent defense? I think Washington covers this game. I'd love to get 14, obviously. I think this is the 72. To sit on the fence, I really see it could go either way. I mean, this could be a shootout, a double, triple overtime kind of shootout where,
my biggest worry is overtime. I agree with that. That's could be a problem.
We see a game go, into the 100, area, 50,
right. For no reason besides overtime, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Washington covers this one, but Oregon gets the win.
I think Oregon pulls out a close. I think it's going to be a Pac-12 matchup, and I think Oregon's going to clamp down and win by 7 to 10 points. I'm cool.
All right, fair enough.
This is a huge game because I I want to do my AM Drive 5, but I'm not because this is such a big game. It's 7:30. Number 4. The Texas, I've pissed them off before. The Texas Christian University Horned Frogs against the Texas Longhorns, and Quinn Ewers is back. But I don't know what that means anymore. Because, you don't really have to. What did I say yesterday? I forgot what he's going to be in the transfer portal. Just win this game for me. But that'd be kind of cool. But I'm going under 65 in this because I do like the way Texas clamped down a long time ago against Alabama. And I like the thing. And TCU has really struggled against. They've won by 10 points against teams they should have beat by 21 based on their number 4 ranking. So I'm going to go Texas winning, but I don't like maybe they cover, but I'm going to go under 65 at home.
Yeah, TCU's been on kind of a revenge tour this season. They 4 of the teams they lost to last year by double-digit points, they've beaten this year.
Wow.
So they're on a little bit of a revenge tour this year. I'm happy for the Horned Frogs story here. I just don't know if they're the number 4 team in the nation. And we kind of talked about that, I believe, Tuesday or whatever day I came out. Wednesday.
Top 5 is my day. Hush your mouth.
Yeah, that's right. Wednesday. I'm sorry. Wednesday we talked about that. I'm not against Texas. I like to see the train keep rolling in the Big 12 here with TCU. So I'm going to take them to cover 7. And you can sprinkle a little bit on the money line here. I see this as a close game where TCU gets a gutsy win, or Texas. I think Texas. There's a possibility Texas beats the brakes off them.
Can I go under 65, or you don't want to touch it?
I wouldn't touch the total in this game, but I mean TCU has won 7 out of 10 meetings against Texas since joining the Big 12.
The AM Drive should also be called Aaron's betting advice.
I don't know. I mean, it's all it is advice. Don't take it as gospel.
Profits on the run. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Thursday night football. Do you have Prime yet? I don't either, but we're talking about it anyways. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise. For $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
If you host a podcast that has not reached its potential yet, if you host a business that you just can't get over the hump, but you know it's promising, you want to, I forgot the word. That was so good, I forgot the rest of it. Okay, but you want to spread the word and friends want to check it out, but Aaron will they? That sounds better.
You hope so. With Popple, you
That's
will.
right, you do. Oh, that's right. With Popple, that thing up there, you will find it easy to do so because Popple is an easy to use, but high-tech digital business card. You can get your Popple using the code AM Drive for 20% off your order. Set up your links and share it. And don't worry, people you share with won't need a Popple or the Popple app. So when you get your Popple and keychain pops like even a credit card form or whatever that is, then use the code AM Drive for 20% off on PLPL.co or MikeandAaronDrive.com. But again, the code is the key. Aaron, Thursday Night Football with my boys, Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, it's Falcons and Panthers, and I will say this. When you said AM Drive 5, I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind putting this one in there, but I'm not going to because it would be like you influenced me, so I'm not. It's not fair. But I will say, last time these two teams played in Atlanta, Falcons were pretty much in control until the last Hail Mary, and then Panthers were all of a sudden in control and they couldn't get it done, and Falcons still pulled out a victory. I like to think in Carolina. I know we've seen like a few of these high-scoring Thursday Night Football games recently. Let's be real. This is an NFC good. What is wrong with me? NFC South throwdown.
NFC mouth.
And I believe it's going to go under 42.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think this game is going to be ugly. And I think a lot of people remember the last time these two teams played. It was, 37-34?
But it shouldn't have been.
No, I mean, you're right. The Hail Mary, those things happen. Carolina probably should have won the game, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I leaned, a little bit towards Atlanta minus 2.5 with that spot as well. But Thursday Night Football kind of favors the home teams. However, this is an unorthodox home team who we believe is tanking.
Their quarterback.
I think they're tanking, and they got beat down bad by Cincinnati. Carolina gave up 5 touchdowns to Joe Mixon. But I have 2 AM Drive 5 picks in this game. The first one is that under 42.
Yes!
And I am going to take the running back, Tyler Algier, over 30.5 rushing yards in this game.
I like that because I saw this fantasy football guy, I think his name was Tyler, who's always giving advice. He was saying that people were asking well, should I start Cordarrelle Patterson? He's like, no. Because compared to other running backs they had. Because you'd like to think that he might go off for 5 touchdowns, but they do have, a couple of different players. And I believe Cordarrelle Patterson is still kind of nursing an injury. I know he's been back for a week or two now. But I do like Tyler Algier coming in relief and maybe getting some of what Joe Mixon had more so than Cordarrelle Patterson does. So I think both those will hit for you tonight. And all you need is one more.
It's one more win for it.
I'm tired of talking, man.
All right, that's going to do it here for us. Tomorrow, Friday Football Frenzy. We've got a game in Germany. I think it might be our first one ever. And, of course, how is Mike going to survive this weekend? Indianapolis faces the Las Vegas Raiders in Jeff Saturday's debut. Saturday on a Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow with all the NFL fixing, including the rest of our AM Drive 5s as well. So for Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying enjoy the day, and as always,
drive safe.